wrestlers with open arms. In the heat of the struggle, we feel no harm. Through the fingers grip like steel too strong. Together we thrive like a thunderstorm.
Oh, now we're live.
Boom.
Can't go live without the intro. You know, we just need it. So, how's Ryan?
Doing good, man.
Wicked shit.
On the way home from practice. Had to get finish getting Adam Wierzinski ready for he's pulling WAP this year.
Oh,
So
wow.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's
yeah,
good.
that's in 2 weeks and where I live in Myrtle Beach. But yeah, man, had to
That's
get
awesome.
him ready and there's one or two more going too.
Oh, you got a
That's
few
my goal
calls
now.
from the club?
Yeah, there's I think three of us going. I'm gonna go
Nice.
and kind of shoot the shit and kind of be in Adam's corner if he needs anything
Mhm.
and anybody else. But yeah, my goal is to pull WAF next year. I just the timing and everything, with my job and all, it ain't gonna work
Yeah,
out. So,
just didn't line up properly. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, well, that's the ultimate goal, right? And I mean, we've had a lot of debate in the last year about IFA versus WAF. And I mean, basically, I've come to, I mean, as a promoter and then dealing with some of that shit myself, I've come to the conclusion, you know what? Go to IFA for now. And yeah, you get put on a ban list, but it's not a big deal. Just go until you think you're ready for WAF and then get reinstated and just go to WAF. Because WAF is a much higher level, I would say, than IFA or IFA. Um, but I think IFA is a good. I think you should start there actually. You know what I mean, and then go to WAF. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. I don't mean anything by
Yeah.
saying this, but I think it's more like a AAA version of baseball, maybe.
Yep.
Like you got some really good guys, really, there's a lot of talent. Um, but they're just not quite the WAF level. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a few IFA guys. I'm trying to remember if that other half of the Bulgarian team
Yeah,
pulls
they do. I think
IFA.
they dominate it. They dominate
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, like I said, like all them guys could be on East versus West. They could win
Mhm.
WAF themselves.
Oh,
Uh,
exactly. But the thing is
but
about the, oh, sorry.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say, but I do think it's IFA overall is just a lower level.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's fair to say that. Like, I don't think it's a kick in the nuts or anything. I think honestly, IFA, you know what? Go. It's a good entry level to the world scene, and I think that people should go. And don't worry about the ban list because even WAF said they don't give a shit. If you don't think you're ready for WAF, go to IFA. Yeah, right now you're going to be banned, but all it takes is a paper. You just sign a waiver thing saying that you're no longer going to go to IFA, and WAF will reinstate you right away. So you know what I mean? You can only do it once though. So don't go to WAF and then go back to IFA because then you'll be then
Right.
you'll be permanently banned, right? So
You're like, oh, I'm ready. I'm going to go to WAF. Oh, I finished class. I'm going back to IFA.
yeah,
But,
exactly. Yeah, it does don't work that way. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but I think any chance you get to do some pulling with some international guys, and
yes,
it's always good. I mean, they're a little different over there as far as their training, setting up all that different type of stuff. So
well, I agree. I mean, we
yeah,
just recently started traveling to the States to train, like to actually compete against the guys in the States because we've just been pulling Alberta boys forever. And it's helped us and it's opened our eyes too. And it's even helped us with our confidence because we don't realize how skilled we are because we think we're just, we only pull each other. So it's kind of nice to get out of the box, feel different people, and it can be a confidence boost too, because then you can see that, hey, okay, you know what I mean? I can compete if I go somewhere else, right? So, well, you might find out you need work too, but that's a good thing also, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely like before I joined Carolina Chaos, I was pulling with a group in North Carolina, which I'm from South Carolina, but it was like an hour and 15 minutes from my house. Um, and I was holding everybody there. You know what I mean? Just holding and letting them work, and then
Yeah.
pulling them across or whatever, working on my weak spots, and then I go to Carolina Chaos, and it's like I'm redlining with some of these guys, and
Mhm.
they're just holding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so
Well,
that you don't
you
really
are
know
who
until
you
you get
surround your
outside of your.
yeah, well, you are who you surround yourself with too in life, right? So
Oh, for sure, sure.
yeah, if you're only pulling with a certain caliber, well, especially if you have a lot of depth. I mean, you got Chad Silvers as your coach too, and I mean, he's a proven commodity, right? Everybody that goes to your
Oh
camp
yeah.
comes out a stud within like a short period of time, right? So
Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with, like I said, like if I was pulling for 2 years and I'm holding everybody at practice every week, and then all of a sudden
tend
you
to
go
do that in
somewhere else,
competition too. Yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden you go somewhere else, and you're like the fourth strongest guy, and like everybody's holding you and stuff. I mean, it's almost like
Humble.
it's bringing your level up
Yep.
pretty quick because it's almost like newbie games again because your
Mhm.
body wasn't used to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Totally. Totally.
No, I
It's a
totally
similar
agree.
challenge to the what you had when you started.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of them old brachial pains sneak back in, and
Well, see,
you're just
not
like,
everybody
man.
gets those. I get them bad. Yeah, but some guys just elbow pain, but it depends on style too, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm a hooker and a lot of side pressure, but my elbows very rarely hurt. But yeah, that brachialis, man,
Good for you.
that's that toothache pain. If I end up doing too much side pressure at a practice or whatever, yeah, that thing just flares right up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a heavy back pressure like hand top roll guy. So first year and a half, I every day was like I was in pain. I was icing my arm and crying. My wife telling me, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "Because I love it." She's like, "Well, you're crying like a baby." I'm like, "Yeah, but I like it too, right?" So,
Like
yeah.
a little pain.
I like a little pain, yeah. And I think it was like you said too, right? When you joined Carolina Chaos, I mean, all of a sudden now you're not the strongest guy in the room, and you have something you're like, I want to see how, okay, next week at practice, I want to see how I fare again. You know what I mean? And then the next week you want to see how you fare again. So you're constantly
Right.
improving, right? And
And it was
yeah, and you get to feel that strength. See, a lot of guys don't improve because they don't, you got to feel it to know it, right?
right. And
So
you it probably took, I would say, about 8 weeks, because I got that beat down feeling again, being new to all that. But after, about the 8 week mark, your
mhm,
body starts getting used to that again, and you're not as beat up the
mhm,
following week, and then you're able to kind of be like, oh, okay, well, I stopped Chad this week, you know what I mean? I didn't pin him, but I stopped him, or
mhm.
whatever the case may be,
Yep,
you know what I mean?
little things, right? That show
Exactly.
what you're doing is working, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree. So how many years have you arm wrestled altogether? Has it been a long
Uh,
or
2018,
oh
so six and a half. This is the seventh year. I think September will be seven.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. No, you said you have to come back with the money.
So still kind of new. So
Yeah, I guess you know what? After looking at some of the legends, I think you need 15 years to say you're a veteran. Yeah.
well, yeah, like when I pulled Coach Ray and we had our little interview or whatever,
Yeah.
he just kind of laughed. He laughed when I was like 6 years. He's like, "Wow, I'm like 17." And I
But
was like,
you
"Yeah,
beat him though.
yeah, yeah." It was easy day, but
Mhm.
either way, I mean, I still got a lot to learn. I've been having all your top roll pains lately because I've been working, trying to work on top rolling and
Yep.
some of them other
Little
aspects of the
versatility.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta, you get up a certain level, man. I mean, you gotta be able to have a plan B and C, and they might not even work, but you still gotta at least have them
Well,
somewhat
yeah,
prepared and ready.
it's true. Like even if you're a hooker and you work on that pronation rise, you'll get your hook a lot easier because guys will have a harder time breaking your pronation or controlling your hand, right? So, I mean,
Right.
you don't have to. You can train top roll and everything, and it doesn't mean that you have to top roll, but it can make you a lot better against other top rollers, though. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Right.
yeah, I think a lot of people they think, well, I hook, so why would I train top roll? Well, Todd Hutchings, no one ever really called him a top roller, but now they realize that he kind of does, right? It's called the Todd roll. He's able to keep his
Right.
pronation, and when you have your pronation intact, you can drive sideways all day, all the time, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah, and that's one thing that I've noticed lately is I used to get kind of dumped. My rise would get dumped, so I wouldn't be able to really take advantage of my strong pronation because my rise would get dumped, and guys would be able to just control me. So I started working on the rise too, not just pronation, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
and
I mean, even as a hooker, man. I mean, I work crap out of my riser, and I kind of have a similar move that Todd can do. Obviously, he's the number one in the world, and I'm not saying it's as good as his, but I got a similar move that I could do if I'm not able to hook, and I get kind of caught out with that same wrist back, but you got your pronation and your riser attack.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, arm wrestling. I think that's the thing that's amazing about it is kind of like jujitsu, just with your arm, right? It's about leverage. And there's so many different aspects, right? Like it should be considered a martial art almost rather than a combat. You know what I mean? Like I almost think of it as martial art, just with your arm and your hand, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's at first, I mean, I thought it was just like if you're just stronger than the guy, you're gonna win. But that
Yeah,
that's I mean, if that's the case, if you're twice as strong as the guy or whatever, but there's a certain percentage, like if
yeah.
you're maybe 6% stronger, you still might not win because that guy's got all the technique and
Mhm.
he's close in power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one reason to start training all your weaknesses too, just to
Yeah.
be able to
Well,
do everything, go anywhere.
well, we talk about power takers and power givers, right? There's some arm wrestlers that take you pulled them, and because they're so good, you can't access. It's like I couldn't access my strength. It was like he took it away from me. And then there's some guys that are just all strength, right? And you got to take that. You got to work on taking their strength away from them, right? So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
There's nothing worse than getting all your strengths taken away and you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there, believe me.
I've been there. I've been there too, man.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
fun.
No, no. Yeah, we had provincials yesterday, and Zach here is the 143 champ. You got to change that, buddy.
No.
Oh, nice.
143 provincial champ now is going to be your name. Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Oh,
Yeah, you
thanks, man.
cut 8 pounds or something, or 10. How many pounds did you cut last minute?
Like 7.5, 8.
Yeah, he decided last minute to try to lose weight the day of, and he went and cut 7.5 pounds and made 143. Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad if you're water loading, but if you're doing it the day of,
Yeah, day of.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
He's a weirdo like that.
yeah.
Only
I hit
Zach
the
can do that.
sauna, so I was able to do it.
Look, I mean, all arm wrestlers is something a little wrong upstairs, right? We're all
Yeah, yeah.
we're all missing something.
I agree. I agree. And yeah, our next big event is going to be nationals, and that's big because the whole country comes together for nationals, right? So yeah, we get the best of the
I think I
best.
watched the Nationals last year, maybe,
Yeah,
or at
yeah.
least watched some matches from it. And in your intro too, I think I watched that event. I feel like too, the first
The first
whatever.
Armageddon. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first time competing in the States, and Zach too. Yeah. I took
Nice.
on the Destroyer, but I destroyed the Destroyer, so it was good.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He was good about it. Yeah, he pissed me off though. He probably had a better chance before he upset me. Yeah, yeah. But
That's the same thing with me, man. Like you come to the table all cool and stuff,
mhm,
your chances are better. But
mhm.
you come in and you poke the bear, the guy, you
You
shoot
know it.
yourself. But
Yeah, yeah. Because all of a sudden I had something. I was just like, they were saying that my whole plan was to go to the straps with the guy because they said he could hit really good. And his hand's solid. So I'm like, when he pissed me off, I'm like, well, I'm gonna break that hand now. You know what I mean? So basically, yeah. But we became good friends. He's actually a nice guy. We talk a lot now, and I usually help him now with his matches and give advice and stuff. So you always make friends too, eh? At the table.
that's the best thing about this sport, man. You guys be out there arguing, cussing at each other, and telling how bad you're gonna put the shit out of this guy or whatever. At
Yeah.
the end of it, shaking hands and you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
talking on Facebook and whatever else.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we have one of
totally.
the best communities in arm wrestling, right? Like, I mean, or not in arm wrestling. We have the best community in all sports, I believe. I mean, meant to say. I never found a
Oh,
more
I
loving
agree.
community, really. I mean, like, yeah, we want to break each other's arms on the table, but like if it comes down to help or advice or anything, I mean, shit, I'll even help my opponent sometimes. I've even helped my opponent before, you know what I mean? My last match, I lost against a young kid. He just had more endurance and I gassed out, but he was so nervous and he was shaking before our match because it was like a big screen and we had a walkout song and it was a big production. It was like was that Bloody Valentine it was called, right,
Yeah, it
Zach?
was Bloody Valentine. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was all nervous and I said, "Listen, kid." I said, just settle down, man." I said, "We're gonna go out there and one of us is gonna win, but we're gonna have a great time, man. Let's just go kick some ass." And then he's like, "Yeah." And then we went out there and I fucking lost to him. I I got him early, but he didn't care. He was so dedicated. He would have broke his arm to beat me. So he ended up tiring me out and he got the old guy. So it was good.
Good match. Really good
Man,
match.
It was a good match. It was a good match. Yeah. 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 And
you helped him out, man. You messed up.
I did. Oh, I definitely messed up. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did. But now I have something to work towards, and now I have a little motivation too to have a rematch with him. I told him, I said, let me get a couple more W's, and we'll do it again. So I
Nice.
had an opportunity to pull him in August, but I said no. I said not right now. I don't want my next match to be my last loss. I'd rather
Right.
build up my own. I'm the type of guy I'd rather build that confidence, go back and be in better shape too, and re-pull him. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Winter's hard for me. I get like seasonal depression and shit. So my trainings gets tougher, and We get cold winters here and short days, so I don't do good in the wintertime.
How far up are you?
Like, well, we're as high as you can go, like 4,000 feet
Oh,
above sea level.
yeah.
We're pretty high.
Oh yeah.
Five, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm originally from Massachusetts, and I thought our winters were cold, but yeah, Canada's. It's,
Well, we can hit minus
Yeah.
50. Yeah, minus 50 anyway. And that's no,
yeah.
it's almost the same in Fahrenheit because I think after a certain minus, they equal out or something. Yeah.
-40 they equal out, and then it
Yeah.
it starts to tip again after that, but
Does it?
it's where
Okay.
that's where they balance out. They're two different scales. One is absolute zero is zero, and one is zero or something like that. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know how it works, but yeah. Minus 50
I didn't.
Celsius.
I didn't pass that class.
Yeah, me either.
I didn't get that far in paying attention, I don't think.
All I know is we'll probably be switching to Fahrenheit soon enough because we're going to be the 51st state here in Alberta soon.
Something, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but we'll at least I'm hoping we separate at this point. I'm upset. I'm upset with our country right now. So,
Yeah, I don't know how they voted. Like, and I don't know much about it, but I don't know how you
I don't
vote.
know either.
Basically, the same guy, a new guy, but he's
it's the
basically
same
like doing the
or
same stuff.
worse. And the
Yeah.
cabinet's the same.
Yeah.
Well, they the problem is you have two provinces that are very democratic, you could say, like liberal, And what
Yeah.
happens is they have the highest population. So two provinces decide the whole country's election. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the whole country was blue, and then you had Quebec and Ontario red, and we lost. So it was like, and I mean, when you have like almost all of Alberta voting conservative, it's kind of a kick to the nuts because it's like, well, our federal government doesn't represent us at all because we could vote 100% in favor of one party and we'd lose still. So it's kind of rigged. It's kind of not very fair, really. So,
Hopefully, you guys get that straightened out or get some
well, we hope
out.
so.
Somebody
I
else,
mean, yeah,
whatever.
yeah, like we got the black gold here. It's all about oil, right?
Yeah.
So, it's actually, if it's not cows, it's oil. So I think we got
Right.
100 cows for every person in Alberta. So
Oh wow.
yeah, Alberta beef, it's like one of our main things. So
Well, hey
Good.
man, if y'all end up being the 51st state, South Carolina welcomes you.
nice, nice. Well, we
Everyone
love
in the
we love
States
it
is
down
so
there.
welcoming, you know?
We love it. We come down there,
Yeah.
man, and it's like, fuck, I feel like at home. Believe me, I love it. Love it. Right now, every gun in my cabinet's illegal because they banned all my guns in the last year. So
They were until you
Really?
got rid of them, you mean?
no, no, I'm allowed to keep them still. I'm just not allowed to use them.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's yeah,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's a state by state around here too. But
That's what we
like
need is that. Yeah.
like me coming from Massachusetts originally, like you can only hunt with like a shotgun, bow, and you can't shoot like a 30-06 or
Oh
270
wow. How do you go
or
hunt?
any. It's either shotgun, bow, and they do like 1 day black powder.
Black powder? Okay, that's worse than
Yeah,
here then.
right.
We
Yeah,
can at
right.
least use a bolt action. I can use a bolt action. Yeah.
And a
And
lever
dude,
action.
like,
No,
and like
well, depends.
down here in South Carolina, like I've used AR-15
Yeah.
and shot a deer. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, there was something left of the deer." Like, look, they shoot 2.23s and 5.56.
Two
Them
two
bullets
threes,
are
that's not a
small.
big bullet, man.
No,
No.
like in order to hunt with them, you got to use hollow points to make sure it kills it. You know what I mean? That's the smallest hunt
You
ground
want to
you can use.
expand and yeah, blow the hell out of it.
That Marlin
Yeah,
gun.
you want to make sure. I mean, the deer will run 150 yards getting hit with that 2.23, but it'll eventually drop.
Well, see,
Oh yeah.
that's why we use hollow tip two bullets here, right?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, if you're here hunting,
yeah.
it's way more humane to use a
You
hollow.
have to use them. You
So,
have to use them here. It's
what are
law.
you trying to do? Yeah, just put like a tiny little hole through them, or what? You
Yeah,
want to have
yeah,
a big
Right.
exit wound and like shred. You know how gun mechanics work. You need it for hunting.
yeah. I had a 45-70. What is it? 40-70 Marlin? What was it? But
I mean,
anyway,
unless you're like
and
the
that
best
that
shot
was
ever
elite.
and blow the
It
brain out.
was so big though. The bullets, and it was like
Oh
$70
goodness,
a
yeah.
round.
Like
But they
this
banned
big.
that. They banned that on me. It's a lever
What?
action, but they banned it. Yeah, because of the calibers. Because of the caliber. Yeah. And then they
Yeah,
banned all semi-autos.
they talk about it here in the United States, man, but
No,
there's a
you
lot
banned
of
it.
conservative states
Yeah.
that are proud gun owners, and they would probably. You go to Texas, man, and go in somebody's
You're going to
house and try to
war.
take their gun. I mean, you're going to get shot.
Hmm.
You know, but
Well, right now, that's one of the big issues with our province. We have a lot of gun owners, a lot of hunters, a lot of rural, like a lot of here is farmland. And I think that's one of the biggest things I think is going to push separation, actually. So, plus, here, you don't have the right to defend yourself in our country. So, at all.
well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's to protect against tyranny. It's to
Yeah.
protect yourself. I mean,
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
you should have the right. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I was looking at, I'm thinking, I got some guys watching for me. I'm thinking about just getting a couple acres in Montana. And then, and because of the year I was born, I can still get dual citizenship with the states. So if we don't separate, I might go that
nice.
road anyway. So,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
yeah. So, because I'm really worried about just losing our rights, our freedoms. I mean, you look at during COVID, a lot of sports were destroyed because of COVID. Now, arm wrestling, we all said, fuck you guys. And we just all came together. It actually got stronger during COVID, if anything.
I went to like 3 tournaments during like lockdown or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I know. So,
Hmm.
and that's all we
Yeah,
had was arm wrestling, right? So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, no, it's crazy. So, you got anything coming up? I mean, you've been silent for a little while
I know, man. It kind of sucks.
now.
Dude, I've been training my butt off, and I haven't missed any practices. Like
Yeah.
everything's on point, diet's on point, weight's on point. I'm like 218, 220, easy cut to 209. So
You
I'm
there?
just staying ready. I had, I think, 3 week notice with Coach Ray. So
Yep.
I don't know what kind of
That's probably
notice
the
I'll
best
get.
way to do it. Just because you're gonna get maybe right now that's what's gonna happen. So you're staying ready. Hopefully you get the call.
Right, right. And s- stay ready. You don't have to get ready, right? But
Yeah. What?
um, South Carolina State, Adam Rosinski's doing that tournament.
Mhm.
And I think Tim Talmadge from Arizona is coming to ref and kind of help the brackets and stuff.
Okay.
Uh, but obviously that's our tournament, so we'll be going to that. And yeah, I mean, I think there's the World Series of Arm Wrestling qualifier, and then we'll probably pull it, and whenever it is, I think November.
Okay.
There's just a lot of money. There's a lot of money there. I mean, I
Yeah,
know
there's
they're
money.
talking about the bands and this and that, and I don't really, if I want to go win some money, I'm going to try to go win some money, and then
Oh, if
if
you're not
it's
banned,
going
go
to be
do
so
it.
so
Yeah.
it's a bit it's always a business trip, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been hard on Greg because I'm a voice and we do a podcast and I just say my
right,
opinion. I don't like the bands. I think he made a mistake. And I think if he could go back, he would change it because I think
yeah.
it was a very poor judgment, right? So, but you know what?
I don't think anybody should be banned
No.
for anything other than obviously like a banned substance that they're getting tested for at WAF or something. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, see,
But
we judge and we dictate as the pullers where we pull and we dictate who gets entries and we dictate your turnout at your events. Now, what that means is if we really respect you and like you and you have good prizes and good events, then you're going to get good numbers, right? But there is no promoters big enough or strong enough to say, listen, you're a band. Well, that you don't have that power, right? We have power, like you don't, right? So,
right,
and that's the thing. But
like
if
really,
the tips are good,
it's like I'm banned. I'm banned. Okay, well, why don't we just ban you and
exactly.
boycott your events and
Events,
nobody
yeah,
shows up?
that's right. I mean, right now, Knuckles Up is now they got the heat on them, right? Because they made a big lapse in judgment because they, left athletes unpaid and actually, I think I don't like I said before, I don't think it would have been a big deal if they would have made a public announcement. Been like, listen, things didn't add up and that people will be paid. Don't worry. They should have talked to the community. But right now, you got all these disgruntled athletes that weren't paid. And
Yeah,
you think you're going to hold another event while you still owe a bunch of athletes? Well, no one's going to support you. You know what I mean? So,
right,
it hurts the promotion, but it hurts arm wrestling when promoters if you hold an event, you make sure that whatever you say is in stone. You make sure no matter what the entries, no matter what, you promise this prize pool, you promise this, whatever your word is, that's you just make sure you have that, whether it's out of your pocket or whether you made it. Or don't hold the event,
right,
right? Or cancel the
right.
event. You know what I mean? You know, but
Well, I was kind of part of that beast mode arm wrestling.
yeah, what was his
And
name? Tim or no, it was Craig or
Chris,
Chris, that's
Chris,
his name. Yeah, Chris, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Justin was part of that too.
I went there and I was
Hunter
supposed to
too.
get, yep, Hunter, Adam. Adam won in the 198s, and he got paid like, I think we were supposed to get 1,000 for first place, and I think he got like 600 or something. I only got like 300.
Wow.
But everybody was short money. Cody Wood was short a lot of money.
Oh yeah, yeah. That guy got screwed a few
You know,
times.
and it surprised me because I did the 220 round robin in Arizona with them guys. I know Larray. I know he's a good guy. I didn't know Chris as much, um, but they paid for that. Just didn't really think it would ever come from
Yeah.
them, and then it
Well,
did.
they made a lot of mistakes because they advertised it for the whole year and they took money, they collected money throughout the year. See, that can be a problem, especially when you got Larray and Chris or whatever his name is. They both don't have jobs, they're unemployed. Well,
Yeah,
it's not a good idea to collect all this money all year long when you're broke and don't have a job. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not making excuses for them, but I mean, I know there. I mean, through what I heard, Larray got $6,500. You know what I mean, in money to him. So I mean, it didn't add up, and it's too bad, right? Because now I know the one promoter, not Larray, because he holds good events and people never really complained before this. So, but the other guy had controversy 3 times last year. So, it's you're just shooting yourself in the foot, and now your reputation's done, right? Because he promised, he said he came on the 98% right after all that shit happened, and he said, I don't care how long it takes, if I got to just send them 100 here, 100 there, I'm going to pay everybody. But after he said that, I haven't heard one person that got a cent afterwards.
If somebody did, I didn't.
Yeah, no one did. We've had like 4 guys on here now that have been all shorted from that event. So
And it's like, look, like you know, like, and these are like some of the top guys in the country. Like obviously Cody Woods like the number one guy in 154. Hunter's number 176. You had Justin Bishop there. You had like Austin Jaggers, Tim Bresnan. There's some big names there, man. And
huge,
Yeah.
huge. And if you would have made good, if they would have made good on that, like what could they have at their next event? They like the sky is the limit, right? You know, you don't want to
I
screw
was
the.
kind of I was disappointed about it because I wanted to. I took third in the 220 round robin. I mean, I was looking forward to going back this year and trying to get that first place away from
Mhm.
Andre Shark and whatever. But
Mhm.
now it's like, eh, that's
Yeah,
not going to happen.
no, no, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, yeah. Well, we just keep on going. That's all. So your
Yeah, I
next
mean,
event?
I'm over it. I'm not expecting to get any money. I
Oh
just,
no, yeah,
won't go to their event.
that's
Unfortunately,
no.
because they
Well,
did some
yeah.
good.
Well, I kind of now when I look at events, I kind of look at who's holding it and I kind of do a little research. And I think now these days it'd be good for if arm wrestlers, you know, they shouldn't have to because what's promised at the event should be there, right? But with all the controversy in that, you know what? If you've had a history of not paying athletes or the events being bad, then I'm just probably not going to go to your event, right?
Well, I know Adam through the East versus West qualifier last January, not this past January, but January before, and he guaranteed 500 each hand or something. And that dude went into his bank account, man, and took the money out and made sure he had it before, anybody even signed up or anything.
Yeah.
You know, so,
Well,
but
and
if I was ever throw a tournament, I would never throw a dollar amount out there
no,
unless I actually had it. I would just say payouts first through third,
yeah, that's right.
100%
Depending on
payouts,
entries.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on entries. Yeah. you know and I would never make it 100% of what comes in as payouts either. I would say, listen, you know what, payouts are based on entries, And once the event's covered, where we're not out a dollar, every cent I'll give to as prize money. You know what I mean? There'll be first, second, third. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's probably the safest bet. That way you're not losing money. Because really, when we hold events, you know what? If you're doing it to make money, you probably shouldn't even be holding arm wrestling events. You got to do it for the passion and build something up. And then if you're successful and you got a good event and you get in then eventually you'll make money, right? You know, so I think the problem is these guys hold events and they think, oh, wow, okay, they crunch numbers. Well, if I get 250 entries and I get this much an arm, and you know what I mean? And it starts getting, well, that's not the reason you should be doing it. And now you're promising shit based on entries. And then what happens when you're 80 short or 100 short on the entries? Right. So it's
Yeah, I mean, it's tragic.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah. No, for sure.
especially just at $20 an hour. I mean, a couple grand, man, or close to.
Well, we're doing there's been a lot of team stuff lately. Like I don't know if you've seen the M Spot did City Slickers last year where they brought down New York, New Jersey, all that, and they went against the country folk. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brandon O'Sensor was there, right?
No, he went to Matt. That's Ian's event. Mark,
That was the other
Ian
one.
Carnegie. Yeah, the Mac event. Yeah,
Okay.
he lost there too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
win
That's what I
every.
was wondering. Like,
yeah. Ian's
I
Ian's
remember,
another
I
good
remember at
friend of
least
ours.
hearing about it. I think I've probably seen it, man. Like when it comes to arm wrestling stuff, and it's posted on YouTube, I've probably seen it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would stay pretty up to date with a lot of uh, like all the podcasts. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
listen
We've
to them.
seen you. We've seen you in the chat on this one too. Yeah, yeah. I watch it all too. I follow it all because I just love arm wrestling and I like to just keep up with everything and see who's pulling good, who's on top, who to watch for. You know, and oh, Greg Deneen said, congrats to Brian winning the 50-50. Yeah, I won the 50-50 draw yesterday. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah. It was,
Oh, nice.
I've never won.
I win every time. I
Do
said
you?
that. Yeah. So Sean's like, why are you buying 50-50? Because it's like, why waste your money? I'm like, I win every time. And it's sure
Yeah,
enough,
I know. I know your strategy. I won't reveal
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, so I went in and then they're like, Johnny runs out, Johnny Thorne, he's like, he goes, man, did you buy 50-50? I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, they're gonna call another number. Someone's not claiming it. I'm like, I won. I didn't even look at the numbers. I ran in, and then Matt goes, let me look at your ticket. And he goes, oh, you did win. I ran up. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah. I was like, nice, $405. I was like, I'll take it.
Oh
So
shoot, man,
yeah, yeah.
that's
But
nice
then and
split.
then the guy that got me and told me, I gave him $100. Yeah, yeah. Because
Nice.
I wouldn't have went. I wouldn't have got. They would have drawn another number, and I wouldn't have got the money.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And then he bought pizza for everybody with the $100. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So worked out for everybody, right? It was great.
Oh,
But
for
I didn't
sure.
get to pull. I didn't get to pull yesterday because I had to come back and meet a guy because I got a Camaro, an 83 Camaro I'm trying to sell. And I needed to be back for 8 o'clock. Well, I sat there 10 fucking hours waiting to pull. It was 6:30 in the evening, and I was still two weight classes away from pulling. So I was like, I gotta go. I had to speed all the way home, like 30 over the speed limit. And I got back, but I didn't even get to pull. But I got to win $400 anyway. And I got my seat at Nationals just because I showed up. So
Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
But I didn't get to compete. So it sucked. Yeah.
I tell you that's the worst about a big tournament like that. Is 10, 12, 14 hours.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
it's the
I know.
roughest part, especially if you're trying to you're trying to be hyped up at a certain
Yeah, but you
spot.
can't be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so tired.
So,
Listen, by 6:30, I had no legs left because I was standing, you're social all day long, right? And you go up and down with emotions too, because you don't really know. You're like, oh, well, maybe my because they do it random sometimes the classes too. You don't really know what they're doing. And then sure enough, if you're in the supers, because I'm a super heavyweight, you're not pulling till fucking and I should have known, right? But they said they were going to do start heavy on one table and start light on the other. So I thought there was a good chance that I could pull, right? What I should have done is pulled masters and I would have been out of there at 2 o'clock. because
Yeah.
Masters, they always pull Masters earlier, right? But I didn't want to pull Masters. I was like, no, I want to pull the Open Pro because that way I just have more confidence going into nationals as master. So,
Yeah.
but oh well. I'm healed. I did a full bicep routine today, so it was great.
That's good. There were
Little
there were there were a bunch of good matches at provincials.
really good match. Some really good match.
Caleb and Greg had a really good couple
Yeah.
back and forths.
Yeah.
It was awesome to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna tell him right now. Well, yeah, you did awesome, Greg, too. Like, wow. This guy here, you see him once or twice a year, he just comes out of nowhere and just like strongest left hand I ever seen. Like, I'm telling you. But great Caleb, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Those guys are gonna have a rivalry now, I think, left-handed. Oh yeah. Caleb Freeborn's another beast that we have part of the Red Deer team. We
Caleb
trying to
finally has
remember.
a good challenge, you know.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember the poor man I used to like to watch, and I can't remember his last name. It's Jason something, I think. He was probably a super heavyweight or 240 guy. And
There's Jason Constantini, Tiny. He's out of Toronto.
has he been pulling a long time?
Yeah, long time now. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
I think that might be him. He's a top roller.
Well, he's a little different these days. He beat
Okay,
Pork Chop though. He just beat Pork Chop on the left, at Mac. So
I feel like I remember he was a high level at another point 4 years, 5 years ago, 3 years ago. And then he kind of haven't heard nothing from him. And then I heard that he did beat Pork Chop.
yeah, yeah, that's him. Yeah, he beat Pork Chop, and that was a
Okay.
big match. That was at Mac 3. Was it Mac 3? His name? I don't know, Zach.
Yeah, it was Mac 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The guy always, he always looked like one of the best candidates. Every time I seen
He's
him,
a
he was
big
beating
dude.
everybody.
Now he's a
Yeah.
big dude. I mean, we have so much here. It's hard because we have so much talent, and I didn't realize how good people were here until we started coming down to the States. And now I
Mm-hmm.
try to encourage our guys to go. You know,
Yeah, well, it's good to grip up with people that arm wrestle completely different as well. It gives you a whole new aspect on the setup, a new aspect on finishing and everything, for me at least.
mm-hmm. Did Dakota leave, or is you there, Dakota? He
Oh,
was.
yeah, I think he had to take off.
Oh, I seen him for a second. I wanted to introduce him, and then he was gone. Yeah. Oh, oh well, that's our other co-host. He was here for a second. Yeah. Um. Well, it was just like I was chatting in a chat with Neil Pickup about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. And he was
Yeah.
talking about Alex from Ontario, the Georgian kid. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, what about I go, what about Kelly Leach? And he's like, I don't know. Who's Kelly Leach? And I'm like, well, and he goes, he doesn't beat Alex. I'm like, yeah, he just beat Alex in a super match at Magna's event, right? And he's like, I don't think so. I'm like, I'm telling you, he did. So then I sent him the videos and everything. And I'm like, has no idea. And we all know who the Leach brothers are here in Canada.
Well, of
Like, they're
course.
renowned. Their whole family's been national champions forever, right? So anyway, Neil Pickup didn't know who they were. So it's like, we live in a small world here. We have such good pullers, but unless we start getting out there, no one's gonna know, right? Like, guys got to start traveling and getting their name out there.
People don't spread your name for you.
No, 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 for sure.
Yeah, and United States too, man. There's a lot of guys nobody's ever heard of.
Exactly.
Um, that like that. Okay, that Joseph Morento that just beat Cody at um, East First West, and then he beat Kevin Palco at the King of the Table.
I
Like I
thought he
never
was
heard.
gonna. I thought he was gonna beat him. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Joseph.
I
Is
never
that
heard.
Joseph Morano or what?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. Like I never heard of him, and I'm from the United States, you know. But like a guy like that just comes out of nowhere and getting wins on the big stage, and
yeah.
you
Well,
know,
he
there's
beat
got. I
Palco and
mean,
then he beat Cody, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and everybody said Cody. He had no chance against Cody. That Cody was gonna be way too strong. And I said, I bet you any money he gets Cody tired and he comes back and beats him. And because I watched him against Palco and he did the same thing. And Palco's pretty impressive too. He came down here and he had one of the best matches I've ever seen against. Have you ever heard of Matt Smith from Canada?
Yeah. Yep.
He's a beast, man. Him and Connor
Yeah.
Sale and Arm Gods had one of the best matches ever. And yeah, but Kevin beat Matt in a super. Matt wasn't training though; he was off season, but still, it was an amazing match. And Kevin really surprised me when he beat him because I don't.
That just, well, that just tells you though, like he's off the couch.
Yeah.
Like, what does 12 weeks do to him? He
Oh
smokes
yeah.
him. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That just tells you the level. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, we have a couple guys on our team, man, nobody's ever heard of, and it's just like they're right there.
They're killers. Yeah.
You know, they're just like a big event win away. You know what I mean? Like even me, nobody knew who I was until maybe Coach Ray, or maybe somewhere last year in the 220 round robin, because that was a pretty big event. But you got to travel, you know.
Yeah. Those round robins are pretty cool though. I like them. That's Lorray that runs those, right?
Well, it was Lorray and Chris, man.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they're going to
he was doing the round robins with them. Oh, okay. Well, I
yeah.
don't really recognize Chris because I think he's a douchebag, but
Hmm.
I know.
Well, yeah.
yeah. Well,
Well,
I mean,
I thought he was a cool guy, man. Till all that little sideways stuff happened, but
well, he had a big thing with Tim Talmadge too, right? Right before that, him and Tim Talmadge had a big issue over an event. And he tried saying
yeah,
Tim was a piece of shit and fucking all this crap. And then he does that like 3 months after that ordeal, he did that shit at that event you went to, right? So I mean,
yeah.
I don't know him personally, but I don't have to like him.
You don't want to.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, like Justin Bishop said, man, like I mean, take me like 15 years ago, dude, and like I might be going to jail over that, you know?
Mm-hmm. But you're relying on
Like he just, you know, like what if I really needed, like, say I was 2 days away from being evicted and I really needed that money. Like
a
I'm
killer.
getting that money. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, luckily I'm in a spot where I do okay, but you know, everybody doesn't. So
Well, he admitted
yeah.
after that he took $1,500 for himself. And that's another thing too. You don't take a fucking cent as a promoter if people didn't get paid from the event, but he admitted it. Oh, I needed it. I'm unemployed. Well, what if one of those guys from the event was unemployed, like you said, and they had rent in 3 days and they thought, hey, I could win this tournament and I could pay my rent. And then they win, and then you say, sorry, I don't got your money. Well, guess what, buddy? I ain't walking out that door until I got every cent of what you said you're giving me.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I've been in a similar, like a situation where I could really have used the money. And if that
Yeah.
timing would have lined up with this, I would have got the money.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy,
it
though.
kind of pisses me off a little bit talking about it, but
Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah, yeah.
no. Like I'm working myself up, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Well, sometimes
yeah,
it's
I
good to
mean,
get it out too. You say you never really get to talk about it. Boom, get it out there, right?
and I like everybody, man. You know,
Me too.
I hate it even happen. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, yeah. Well, we had an
but
event here. A guy held an event here and invited all these guys from the States and had Gabby from Brazil down, and
yeah,
Eli from the States came,
Oh
Jody
yeah.
Williams, all these guys come down, and he didn't have a plan on how he's going to pay them at all. And he just had them all come, right? And then one guy, I think it was Eli, he wouldn't leave. He said, "You're paying me." He's the only guy that got paid in full because he was going to take him out back and punch the shit out of him. So one guy ended up getting paid. But the thing that I don't get though, if I have to be strict with you, and you can all of a sudden pay me, then why do you have any money to pay me? You should be getting beat up because you should be saying, "I don't have a cent to pay you. This happened." But then because I'm beating you up, all of a sudden you pull a wad out of your pocket and you pay me? Like, what's that shit too? Right? Like,
That's shady.
yeah, it's
that's
shady
some,
when it's like
yeah,
that.
that's like them videos you see where you know that they end up doing what they ask and then they get beat up anyway.
Well,
That's what
You know what I
yeah,
happens,
mean?
yeah.
yeah, it's the point. It's the principle, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you
Like,
basically just stole $1,000 from this guy, 1,000 from this guy, right to their face in front of everyone. So I mean,
listen, you go rip off the HA and then say sorry and pay him back. You think you're just gonna?
don't even go that far. Rip off the government, see what they'll do.
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to go even like rip
Mm.
off the legal parts, and they'll come and take everything you own, send you
Oh,
in
that's
prison.
right. Yeah,
So
Oh yeah,
exactly.
you go into
Yeah,
prison and they won't care.
yeah,
so I mean, I say it is what it is. You dug your own grave in that situation.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of events hopefully coming up in the future that we're going to be going to. I'd like to travel a little further into the States and do some more events, actually. Um, I'm gonna start looking at see what there is throughout the summer down that way because it'd be cool. I've only been going to Montana, but I
Yeah.
haven't. I want to venture out further into different parts, you know. So,
Yeah, I would say Mikey Olivia, um, you know who that is, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, Sarah's
Yeah,
man.
yeah, they're doing they're doing some good things in Florida. Some
The
of their events
Harley,
look
they're
really
doing the
good.
Harley events.
Yeah,
Clifton, our friend
yeah.
Clifton Erickson was there yesterday. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Um, he's good too, Clifton.
He's getting he's
Clifton's
getting
good, yeah.
really good. He's getting strong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've seen him. I feel like I've seen him in the past maybe year and a half. Like
oh yeah,
really just
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He trains
yeah.
really hard, man. Like really hard. And actually, their whole team's getting better too. Nathan Johnson, Clifton. Who else? They have a lot of killers there, don't they? I'm trying to think of who else they got. Oh, Jake Houston is part of their club.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Jake's been good for a long time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He
He-
had a loss recently, and I haven't seen him since. I'm hoping he comes back here soon. He lost to a young kid named Alexander Groot, and Groot's coming up
Oh,
quick. This
yeah,
kid's coming up quick. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That dude. I saw that event. That was a that was
The
the same event
armbender.
you got.
That was the
Yeah,
armbender.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
About
Montana.
to say I saw that, and I know Jake had gone through some. I don't know he had some kind of stomach issues there for years, or maybe it was
Yes.
his kidneys or something.
Kidneys. He was on dialysis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
but
that's
I was
not good,
happy to
yeah.
see him back. I was happy to
Yeah.
see him back,
Me too.
and
Me too. I was
yeah,
rooting
that
for him
Alexander
actually.
Groot, man, that guy looks his arms look huge.
He's a giant, man.
They
He's
don't
He
just
looks
look
like
huge; they are
they are
huge.
they are
huge.
huge.
Yeah, they are huge. Yeah.
He reminds me of like that
Oleg.
Arthur Makarov
Oh,
or Arthur.
Oh
Makarov.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see what you're saying.
That dude,
He's got a weird hand, that guy, eh? Have you seen his hand? It's like,
yeah, but like his form, like
yeah,
he doesn't look like a 160 guy. You know what I mean? He's
no.
like a 200
No.
200 guy.
Yeah, he's got a weird hand. His baby finger has got this big, huge gap in it. Like it's like out here or something weird.
Wide, yeah,
Yeah, it's like I don't blame him for hooking. He's got the perfect hooking hand.
He's
Just
kind of like
yeah,
RVJ with the hand and arm of someone in a higher weight class.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've been beating up RVJ a lot lately. It doesn't matter. He don't hear it, so it hasn't helped him any. But I'm a big fan of RVJ, and I just
Dude, he's
been
hilarious. He's
he's
hilarious.
hilarious. He's hilarious, but I just wish he took
I
this
laugh at I,
more
I
serious.
laugh at every. Yeah, I wish he did too, man, because he's doing all this pretty much off the couch,
Oh yeah.
genetics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, but that only
Uh,
gets you so far now because now we're working so hard that just that get the natural gifts and just genetics is it will take you far, but the hardworking guys will surpass you. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
And that's the thing with RVJ, like he's going off his name for so many years, taking matches with Sanders and Nugo, but he's looking to me like a fool. And I'd like to see him train and just show everybody what he's capable of because the guy's got, yeah, he's got natural gifts, natural talents. If he actually just put in a solid 6 months hard training, he might beat Sanders. He might beat Nugo. You know what I mean? Just coming
I
in
think
doing
it's a
what he
lot.
does.
There are a lot different matches. If he goes in fully ready. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
like you said, he might win them, or at least they're going to be 3-2s, or
Yeah, yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like,
They'll actually put up a fight.
yeah, he'd put up a fight, but I think,
Yeah,
and no, and not only that, or I think like this, or I can go the other way. Listen, okay, fine. You got your business that you run off season, you got your job, and when you're not doing the business, you don't have a lot of time to train. You have a family. He's a family man. Then take matches that make sense. Then you know, like this.
Pull guys like
Yeah.
me.
Don't pull
No,
Nugo.
don't pull you. Don't even pull you right now. I wouldn't even want to see that. I would
I've,
no, he's got to pull guys. He's got to be realistic and say, listen, I'm not training right now. You know what? I'm I'm on the high end of the pro level, but right now I'm not elite because I'm not in training. Elite is listen, high pro to elite, it could be 10 levels. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I
Could be
mean, you gotta
20.
be, yeah, it could be 20, but you got to realize that, hey, I'm not in full training. I'm just natural ability, naturally strong. You know what I mean? And take matches that line up with your current skill set. That's all. Then they're more entertaining for us. And then I'm not sitting there going, "Oh, RVJ showed up the day before in Montana. He was loaded out of his tits, couldn't even talk when he got off the plane, and the next day he was drunk all day, and then looked foolish against Sandras." I don't have to make those comments because I actually really RVJ is one of the first guys I watched when I got into arm wrestling, and I loved watching. He was amazing to watch. You know what I mean? I don't really want to talk bad about RVJ, but I mean, I'm pretty embedded in arm wrestling, and I can tell when someone's putting in the effort and is committed to being, you know what I mean, a professional athlete, right?
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, personally, that's one thing I would never do is take a match and come in off the couch. Um, and it ain't
Yeah,
Yeah.
to talk junk about anybody, but the way I will always handle it would be professionally, and I'm going to be in the best shape
that you can be. Yeah,
um, that I can be. Yeah,
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
only fair to your opponent too, really. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I want the best of whoever I'm pulling whenever I pull them. I don't want a mediocre. And if I lose, then I can work on it and get better. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's I think we owe it to our opponents, we owe it to ourselves. And but I mean there's time and place to just have fun and pull too, right? You
yeah,
know? Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. I think there's situations where off the couch would be fine. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like if you're taking a world Sandris, okay, 2 years in a row he lost only to Reno Masick at Worlds, at WAF Worlds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Nugo, now he's a multi WAF champion, right? I'm pretty sure, you know.
yeah. I
So
mean,
these
these are
guys
all top 10 in the world, top
are
seven,
Yeah.
top 10 in the
yeah,
world. Uh,
exactly. And they're
yeah,
taking it serious.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't understand coming off the couch either. Maybe it's just because I'm very hungry to get to the top. But my training, I do my 8 to 12 week. I try to peak for every East versus West,
Before
right?
you're
Because you
ready.
never know when you're
Yep.
gonna get the call.
Yep.
But until something else comes along, obviously. But you know, and then you change your training accordingly. Get ready for the next one or whatever. But
Yeah.
I would always stay ready. I mean, I'm never going to sit on the couch for 2 months, and
Yeah. And just do
you
nothing.
know,
Yeah, yeah. And then
I
leveling
don't
up.
want to say never, but I won't accept a match if I am. You know,
Yeah, no, true, true. And plus you want to keep leveling up, right? I mean, we all know what it takes to keep leveling up. So it's just hard work, sticking with it and pulling and
it's consistency,
Dedication,
man.
persistence,
yeah,
consistency.
that's
Yeah,
right. I mean, it's consistency that pays off.
80% mental, 20% physical.
It is. It
You
is.
got to
yeah,
tell yourself to do it. You got to tell yourself to keep going. You got to be very
Oh,
disciplined.
I showed up to Dale's today. I went to the Deadly Dungeon. So we started this club called the Deadly Dungeon. So I show up
Mhm.
to the dungeon today, and Ethan's sleeping. Dale's got a blanket wrapped around him. He looks like he's dying, and Brad's sitting there on his phone. And I was like, this sucks. And we had to do everything we could to get downstairs. But once we got down the dungeon, the weights just started moving. Next thing you know, we none of us wanted to work out. We all felt like shit. But once you get through that first set, you know what I mean? And then the adrenaline starts going, and then boom, we got through it.
Well, you're working out now, so you may as well do
Yeah.
it into
But
10
6 weeks ago or 6 months ago, before we've gotten really motivated, I might have said, fuck, okay, guys, have a good day, man. We'll just skip today. We'll see you on Wednesday. But no, it was like, come on, let's go down. You know what I mean? And then we got
Yep.
it done, right? So
Yep.
yeah, it was
that's what you got. You got to force yourself, man. Sometimes,
Yep.
I mean, there's several days throughout the year. I own a landscaping company, so
Yep.
I'm
I
always
do too. Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always pushing, wheelbarrows of rock, dirt, shoveling. Always
Yep.
doing that. And I mean, I might move, 20 ton of rock that day by myself, and then come home and look at the gym and be like,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
really? But
Mm,
once you
I've
once
already
you
hit
get
the
out
gym.
there, right, right. But once you get out there and you start, obviously if I'm doing a bunch of shoveling and stuff, I'm not doing shoulders, right? But I'll do, some tricep work or whatever else.
But when you're shoveling, you're thinking it can motivate you too. You can be like, you know what? Fuck, this will get me stronger. You know what I mean? You
Get
Yeah,
start
the
thinking about
pronator
yeah.
that.
in there, get the
Throw a little
supinator,
pronation
the
into the
wrists.
shovel, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially pushing the wheelbarrows. Like I always cup both my wrists,
Yep.
Mm,
stay cupped and walk with the wheelbarrows. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yep. No, for
But
good
sure.
one. It's a good one.
Yeah. I
it ain't
actually,
always it ain't always easy, man. Uh,
No,
to get out there and
shouldn't be.
train,
If it's
but
easy, you're not doing enough.
yeah,
like, yeah, landscaping is a good company to own actually. Because you know what? Here in Alberta, if you own a landscaping company,
Yeah.
there's there's endless work, like nonstop here. Like you'll never be out of work if you own a landscaping company here. I didn't even run mine last year. I decided not to. I just took the whole summer off. This year I'm sure it'll just pick right. I mean, we actually just do a lot of grass maintenance, and there's
okay,
just insecticide and shit. And
yeah,
we make a killing off spraying. And you go in, do a big, huge yard in half an hour, right?
yeah,
It's money. It's just money in the pocket every time, right? I'm not ripping people off. We're doing a good job, but
right,
it's lucrative. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got
Yeah.
yeah,
15 in a day, you go do it's decent money. Yeah, weed control can pay, believe me. Like we used to do the air rating. I did all the power rake. I did all that shit for too. Because we like doing lawns for our landscaping company. We're called Yard Essential Solutions, is the name of my company. But I found that just weed control. All the rich people, they don't want to see a single weed in their grass. So
yeah,
they'll pay me $65 and I'm there for like 5 minutes. I just pray if this, you know what I mean? And we're allowed to use Killex here, so we just go nuts. Yeah,
right, right, right.
yeah,
Two-handed it.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a pretty good company to have in South Carolina because it's pretty much year round.
yeah. Oh, I
Um,
hear, yeah,
December sucks. Half of January, getting through Christmas, New Year's, and all that. People are traveling; they don't want to spend money.
hmm
But most of the time, man, I mean, I'm booked out all the way halfway in June,
hmm
like
Yeah,
just
that's
projects
good.
lined up, and I have 50 maintenance accounts where I cut grass and I do like the fertilizer and stuff
Yep,
like that,
yep, yep.
But
A lot of garden
2 days,
beds, mulch beds. We do,
yeah, we do a lot of mulch, rock.
yeah. I don't mind
Rock's
doing the
really the money
gravel.
the money maker, but
It is.
it's the
I'm
hardest.
I'm always sifting it for gold. I'm a gold panner.
Oh yeah,
See, I get gold out of sand and everything, believe me. I'll process
nice.
the sand before I put it on a customer in a customer's yard.
Mm. All right, guys, I gotta take off here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we should probably end it soon. I won't keep you guys all day. Well, thanks for coming, Zach. And yeah,
For sure.
Ryan, we really appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna be watching
Yeah,
for
man.
you because we're big fans. And
Yeah,
I gotta admit, I didn't really know much of you before Coach Ray. I heard your name and
Mhm.
I seen a few events where you pulled, but I mean, you know what, you look solid, man, and I hope really that you get another match soon because I want to see you
it
pull.
sounds like you're ready to go. So they just need to put someone in front of you at this point.
Well, as Hunter said to you last time, just give me 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Give me two
Two
weeks. Take
weeks.
off the table and I'm
yeah,
ready to go.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, okay,
I
brother. Well,
appreciate it.
hopefully, and maybe we get down there and meet you guys because I'd love to come down and meet your team, see you
that'd be
guys.
sick.
Yeah. Hey, anytime y'all want to come down to South Carolina, we train in Spartanburg. It's in the upstate. It's about
Yeah.
4 hours from my house. So I
Yep.
drive about 8.5 hours every week for practice.
Wow, that's
and
Damn.
dedication there. Yeah. Yeah.
but you guys are more than welcome, man. And you definitely get some work in.
Well, yeah,
Awesome.
I bet. I bet. Okay, brother. Well, listen, all the best to you, man. We appreciate you coming on for sure.
I appreciate y'all having me, man, and keep doing what you're doing. I watch them all. So,
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Okay.
oh yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining too. And we'll see you Tuesday. And okay, take care, Ryan. Zach, you have a